Hi, this is Kris from C Sports with a preview of the Eastern Conference play-in round series between the Pittsburgh Penguins and Montreal Canadiens. This postseason series features the five-time Stanley Cup champions from Pittsburgh, led by Sidney Crosby, Evegni Malkin, Kris Letang, and Guentzel, against the National Hockey League's most successful team with 24 titles and established stars such as Shea and Carey, along with skilled players like Domi and Gallagher. Can Mike Sullivan's battle-tested Pittsburgh Penguins aging core capture another Stanley Cup in 2020? Or will the youthful, energetic, and fast Montreal Canadiens, under the guidance of veteran head coach Claude Julien, shock the hockey world and upset the mighty Penguins? In the regular season, the Penguins recorded 86 points, good for third spot in the Metropolitan Division, only 3 points behind the Flyers. Pittsburgh is the fifth-seeded team in the Eastern Conference. The Penguins endured a six-game losing streak in late February that saw them drop from first place in the division. Despite several injuries, the Penguins were securely in a playoff position when the season was paused. The Penguins won the season series 2-1 against the Canadiens. Montreal finished in fifth spot in the Atlantic Division with 71 points and entered the playoffs as the 12th-ranked team in the East. Injuries piled up and scoring was hard to come by, leading the Habs to be sellers at the deadline. They had the 24th best record in the NHL when play was stopped. The Habs are one of the league's top possession teams, but they struggled to generate offense and were inconsistent in their own end. Montreal was 19th in the league in goals against per game, 19th in goals for per game, 19th in penalty killing, and 22nd in power play percentage. Pittsburgh was much better in every category. Offensively, the Penguins are the 13th best scoring team in the league with 221 goals or 3.2 per game. The Penguins can throw out two offensively skilled lines, and when necessary, Crosby and Malkin can be paired together. The Penguins' offense is now mostly healthy thanks to the availability of Jason Zucker and Guentzel. Brian Rust had a breakthrough season with 27 goals and established good chemistry alongside Malkin. In a playoff with so much uncertainty, it feels safe to bet on the track record of Crosby and Malkin. The Canadiens scored 208 goals during the season, or 2.93 per game. Montreal threw more 5-on-5 shot attempts on net per game than any other team in the league, and Matt Murray or Tristan Jarry are not exactly indomitable fortresses of steel in the Pittsburgh net. At 5-5, the Habs are also the second in the entire NHL when it came to controlling the percentage of shots that were taken in their games. Montreal took 53.4% of them, meaning they control the shots in game as well as anyone. In fact, the Canadiens scored 147 goals in 5-on-5 situations, only 5 less than Pittsburgh. Somehow, Philip Danault, Nick Suzuki, and whoever else plays center must try to contain Crosby and Malkin defensively while providing some offensive spark. At this stage in their careers, that is probably asking too much. As a result, it is imperative that other players, namely Jonathan Drouin, Brendan Gallagher, and Thomas Tatar, pick up the slack and generate goals. A wild card is Domi, who has been up and down all year. When he's at the top of his game, Domi is an in-your-face player with above offensive abilities. Defensively, the Penguins were the 11th stingiest defense in the NHL, allowing 196 goals or 2.83 goals against per game. Kris Letang is the #1 defender on this unit. He is an elite, mobile, big-minute rear guard. Letang is a smooth skater with excellent lateral movement and acceleration. He can pinch in effectively or roam around like a fourth forward. He owns a lot of creativity in a goal scorer's hand. He can hit as well. He racks up points, but is a little undersized, so expect the Habs to lay the body on him whenever possible. As good as Letang is, the rest of the blue line group is solid but not spectacular. Brian Dumoulin, John Marino, and Marcus Pettersson round out the top four. Marino is the youngster of the group and very good skating skills with above-average puck ability. Like Letang, he is not overly imposing physical presence on the blue line. The Canadiens allowed 220 goals or 3.1 goals against per game, which ranked them 23rd. If healthy, the Canadiens can ice a decent top four with Shea, Jeff Petrie, Ben Sherratt, and Victor Mete. The key is Weber. If he can contribute offensively and provide an intimidating force at the back end, that will go out a long way in helping the Canadiens. The concern is how much of a workload can Weber withstand. Let's look at goaltending for the Penguins. Who starts at net? Tristan Jarry was the better goalie for most of the season and made his All-Star debut in January. He floundered before the pause, though, going 0 for 4 in his last 4 starts, allowing 18 goals and an .845 save percentage. Then there's Matt Murray, who also had his fair share of struggles, but has 47 playoff starts and is a 2-time Stanley Cup winner. Jari has only 57 NHL starts, period, and 0 in the postseason. It's a tough decision for Coach Sullivan to make, though it seems like he's leaning toward Murray to start. The concern is the consistency. Unless one of these goalies takes their game up a spot in the playoffs, the Penguins look like a team whose ceiling this year is limited. In Montreal, for all the accolades Carey Price gets, the fact remains that he has yet to lead the Canadiens past the second round in any season. He's not getting any younger, and while the Canadiens seem to be trending in the right direction in terms of the team's future development, nothing is for certain. Price is technically strong and always plays in control, reads the play, and follows the puck exceptionally well. He also handles the puck very well as well. When we look at special teams, statistically, the Penguins' power play ranked 19th overall, which seems to be a bit of a disappointment, but that could be attributed to the injury issues which plagued the team throughout much of the season. With a healthy arsenal at their disposal, expect Pittsburgh's power play to be more effective than the regular season version. The Canadiens were 19th in penalty killing. Montreal's power play ranked 22nd in the league and must be much better if they are to challenge the Penguins. Pittsburgh had the league's 10th best penalty killing unit and can ice Crosby and Malkin to put some pressure on the opposition's power play, give the Penguins the advantage in special teams. When we look at a next factor, if Murray and or Jari can match Price, then the Penguins will win. But if the Penguins get sub-par goaltending and their advantage on offense may not be enough to avoid a series upset. The Canadiens have nothing to lose, which makes them a dangerous team. Yes, Price is the key, but Claude Julien is an experienced head coach, and Shea is back in the fold. Hockey is a game of emotion and momentum, and all the Canadiens need is to establish a feeling of some success early on in the series, a belief that they can compete with Pittsburgh. Strength up the middle with Crosby and Malkin definitely favors Pittsburgh. It is imperative that Montreal denies both players the time and space necessary to weave their offensive magic. This is where the Canadiens' underrated team speed and positive work effort can come into play. Montreal also needs to pressure the Penguins' defense with strong and smart forechecking. The longer this series goes, the better the chance Montreal has at pulling the upset. Maybe Carey Price can steal a series. Just maybe. But it's hard to imagine the Habs having sustainable success this summer. This is still a roster in transition. Crosby is 32, Malkin and Letang are both 33. And while Pens fans may not want to hear this, nobody ever beats age. These players have had to endure injuries and long playoff runs in the past. The window is closing. This will be a series featuring a team that dealt with major injuries throughout the year, but was in contention for the division lead against one that has dealt with consistency issues. Pittsburgh has the higher-end talent and offense, and that advantage should be enough to propel them to a hard-fought series victory. My prediction is the Pittsburgh Penguins in 4 games. Thanks for listening. Please feel free to share your comments and prediction on this series, and also subscribe to C Sports to keep updated on future videos. Take care.